Hey, what's up? It's Sakai, aka the biggest YouTuber in the world. Welcome back to the channel. Ignore my absentee and my new hair. Today we'll be going through a rundown of the biggest hits of entertainment during 2023. We're going through artists, movies, TV shows, artists, art pieces of all time. I'm kidding about that last part, but I don't want to make this video too long, so let's go straight to it, starting with At third place, we have Yuno's Certified Trash by Miles. Him being a part of the top 3, that's saying something about this year's music. That sure is. Miles is a rapper. He's not a good one, he's not a bad one, he's just there. But in March, he released something that was only considered as an album. Sort of put his humor and like his type of rapping into use on this one. I'm starting to sound like Anthony Fantano. That is not good. I'm gonna start bald. And I'm not gonna lie, I did laugh while listening to the album. Whenever Miles said Benjamin Button, hey, that hit me in the heart right here. If he was like actually rapping about stuff, not just like, my dog hit the ground, it made me frown, I went turn upside. But I do give Miles Certified Trash a solid 3 out of 10. At number 2, we have Heaven Knows by PinkPantheress. Pink made this album to follow with the success of her first album back in 2021, To Hell With It. Heaven Knows isn't as good as To Hell With It, but we're just going to ignore that fact for this video because it's top 3 anyways. With songs like True Romance, Another Life, Ophelia, you really get the feel of what PinkPantheress was trying to do with her album, and I really enjoy that. But that Central C feature, it made me not feel good. But other than that, Heaven Knows by PinkPantheress gets a solid 7 out of 10. Our number 1 spot is I Care So Much That I Don't Care At All by Glaive. Glaive is a very interesting artist, going from hyperpop to indie rock to indie pop to alternative rock. You don't really know what to expect next when it comes to Glaive. But the fact that he's 18, already signed and making studio quality albums, that's very impressive to me. The album isn't really his best work so far, but they are decently well written songs in the album. But Glaive's album, I Care So Much That I Don't Care At All, I give a solid 9 out of 10. Moving over from albums, we're going to something that I hope to be in the future, movies. Number 3, we have Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Now, I know this movie has been talked to death, but it's a genuinely good follow-up when it came to the first movie. It had amazing details, amazing art, a talented cast, good music with it. Almost every single thing about this movie felt perfect to me. Knowing that there's going to be a sequel within the next couple of years, I am genuinely curious how they're going to follow that up. But also the fact that they had my boy Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, I wanted you to know whenever you... Spider-Man gets a solid 8 out of 10. Moving over to a movie based off a game I have never played in my entire life, we have Dungeons & Dragons Honor Among Thieves. From the directors of Bones and also Horrible Bosses, you would not expect a movie like this to be that good. Not to bash on Bones. No, Mom, I promised you. But I am a big fantasy nerd, so I decided to give it a shot anyways. The movie was honestly pretty funny. It had believable actors, it had a good story, it had a great plot. This is the nerd of me speaking, but I say the biggest fantasy movies, Dungeons & Dragons, up there, all the way. There's no competition. There's Harry Potter, there's Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and there's Dungeons & Dragons. I give Dungeons & Dragons a 9 out of 10. And for our number 1 spot, we have Barbie. I'm just kidding. Actually, I'm not kidding, but I'm going to talk about a movie that's equally as good as Barbie, so my friends and family don't look at me weird the next time they see me. At our number 1 spot, we have They Clone Tyrone. Yes, named after the Erykah Badu song. They Clone Tyrone is a movie where a lot of stuff happens. You have conspiracies, you have governments working against the people, you have cloning, I mean obviously because it's named They Clone Tyrone. But it also shows like a societal struggle of the people of African American culture in the ghetto, or the hood as people call it. It really shows the different aspects of life that these people go through. I should critic more movies. I should be a movie critic, man. What are those called? I give a round of applause for every single person that worked on that movie. I give They Clone Tyrone a 10 out of 10. Barbie is still movie of the year though. Up next for our review, we have our number 3 spot is a TV show that I still haven't finished to this day, Goosebumps. Now, I know what you're thinking to yourself. If you haven't finished the show, then why is it on the list? Oh, why did you snub Snowfall? What are you doing? From the episodes that I've seen so far, episodes 1 to 5, I can guarantee that it's a top 3 show. The storytelling on this show it's impeccable. It's actually incredible. Disney Plus has a not good list of shows on their website right now. Goosebumps is a major highlight of those. Each episode tells a different story between a different character, and yet still somehow sticks to the same exact storyline. I'm not sure how they do it. It has like a good chunk of actors that have literally never did anything in their entire lives, and yet steal the spotlight so fast. But you can't steal spotlight from a star. Justin Law. Every single scene that this man is in, he just owns the show like nothing, literally. I've always been a big fan of the books and movies when I was a kid, so the fact that they gave Goosebumps justice is perfect to me. 8 out of 10. And number 2, we have a show that everyone hates me for watching, The Owl House. Now I understand that there was only literally 2 episodes of the entire year, and the show also ended this year. It was still good enough and family friendly to be on this list. So the show ended on perfect notes. I'm still upset that my predictions were mostly wrong, and 10 out of 10. And for our number 1 spot, we have a show that's based off a movie that ruined my entire taste in women. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. With the same exact geniuses behind the movie and the same cast, it brings the same exact amount of energy as the movie. I'm not gonna go too deep into it because like I don't want to spoil it and ruin it for anyone that wants to watch it still. But when I say that this is movie of the year, I truly mean it. The fact that they could bring everybody back for the movie, everybody, that just boggles my mind to this day. The show does a good job of retelling the story without retelling the story, if that makes sense. But with great storytellers, you can reboot a story without doing the exact same thing that you did before. Again, I don't want to go too deep into it, so after this video, watch the movie first, and then you can watch the show so you can fully understand. 10 out of 10. And for the final section of this video, so I can finally get done, we have top 5 artists / bands of this year. Not necessarily the people that released albums this year that I find really enjoyable. It's just like people that release music, period. So like they literally beat the people that release good albums. And number 5, we have Beabadoobee. Beabadoobee is one of those artists that you have to hide from your friends because you know that they'll make fun of you. But not me. I have a lot of pride of listening to Beabadoobee. But she does a good job of like telling stories with her songs. I'm not sure how she does it. I'm not sure if it's the music because I'm a big indie guy. I'm ashamed of it. And the fact that she collaborated with Lefe, I think it's Lefe. Their song was so good together. Like just from that snippet alone, I think you know how good Beabadoobee is. I'm not gonna do rankings for artists because like you can't really rank an artist from like 3 songs that they released this year. So Beabadoobee is a certified good artist. Number 4 spot, we have Good Kid. Now if you don't know what Good Kid is a little indie band right outside of Toronto, Ontario. Shout out to Drake. And they're one of the only modern day bands that I listen to on like a daily basis. It's them, Mom Jeans. That's pretty much it. Now I get it, right? Indie rock isn't for everybody. But let me tell you this. Now what? And at number 3, we have Lumi Athena. I'm gonna stop right there. So we have Eric Way. Now I've been listening to Eric Way for a while now. 2021. Eric Way as an artist has gone so far in life, from Dante Red to being one of the biggest pop artists of all time, to getting signed to the same exact label as Playboi Carti and Ken Carson. Do you know how much talent you need to be the same label as Playboi Carti? Eric, when it comes to production and lyricism, he's just like even better at it somehow. Here's an example from his song Kickstand. I was leaning like a kickstand with your B-word, man. Never heard one song, but she's still a big fan. Her beef not squash. You can be the big man. I'm all choked up like he fell in quicksand. Now, when I say this man is the next Shakespeare, I mean it. Speaking of Playboi Carti, number 1 artist / band throughout this entire list is Playboi Carti. Now, I do know that Ken Carson and Destroy Lonely both released albums this year, but the fact that Playboi Carti released 3 songs and we did both in their entire albums is literally insane to me. I think it's because I've been a Playboi Carti fan since I was in like the 5th grade, so I'm a little bit biased on that line, but I don't think so. Carti is an 11 out of 10 artist. I forgot to record an outro. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you liked it, go ahead and subscribe. If you didn't like it, subscribe anyways, because I don't care. Let me know what your guys' New Year's resolutions are or whatever. Mine is to upload more, because I uploaded like 4 videos this year. It's sad. And like always, I will see you guys in the next one. This is my brother. My mom told me he needed to be in the video, so there you go.